In the echoes of ancient war and ambition, where empires rise and fall by the sword, welcome to Ages of War, the channel where the blood-stained pages of history come alive. Here, we journey through the chaos, glory, and devastation of ancient battles that shaped our world. The city of Rome teetered on the edge of collapse. The Julio-Claudian dynasty, which had ruled for nearly a century, was no more. The death of Nero in 68 AD was not just the fall of a man, but the collapse of an era marked by madness, tyranny, and decadence. Nero's reign had left the empire exhausted and fragile. Known for his extravagance, his ruthless purges, and the great fire that consumed Rome, Nero had alienated many powerful factions within the Senate, the Praetorian Guard, and the legions. His suicide plunged Rome into uncertainty and power struggles that threatened to tear the empire apart. With Nero gone, the Senate scrambled to fill the vacuum. Servius Sulpicius Galba, the governor of Hispania Tarraconensis, was proclaimed emperor. Galba was a man of stern discipline and austerity, embodying old Roman virtues. To many, he was a return to order after Nero's excesses. But Galba's rule was fragile. His harsh policies and refusal to reward loyal supporters bred resentment, especially among the legions. One key figure discontented by Galba's leadership was Marcus Salvius Otho, once a close ally and hopeful successor, now cast aside and burning with ambition. Meanwhile, far from Rome, legions stationed in Germania pledged allegiance to Aulus Vitellius, a commander eager to claim the throne. This fractured loyalty split the empire, setting the stage for brutal civil war. As Galba struggled to consolidate power, Otho plotted his deadly coup. In January 69 AD, the Praetorian Guard, swayed by Otho's schemes, assassinated Galba and his heir. Otho was declared emperor by the Senate, his rise swift and ruthless. But the shadow of Vitellius loomed large. Backed by powerful legions, Vitellius marched toward Italy, intent on claiming the throne by force. The empire was fractured between rival claimants, each backed by armies hungry for victory. The clash came at the Battle of Bedriacum in northern Italy. Otho's forces fought fiercely but were ultimately crushed. Rather than prolong civil strife, Otho chose to take his own life, ending his brief reign. Vitellius entered Rome victorious, but his triumph was hollow. His reign was marred by excess and cruelty, and opposition simmered beneath the surface. Far to the east, another contender waited, Titus Flavius Vespasianus, a seasoned general commanding legions in Judea. Vespasian, known for his pragmatism and military skill, gathered support for his claim. His march toward Rome reignited civil war, culminating in the decisive Second Battle of Bedriacum, where Vitellius was defeated, captured, and killed. With his rivals eliminated, Vespasian ascended the throne, founding the Flavian Dynasty. His reign restored stability, reformed the empire, and ushered in a new era of Roman strength. The Year of the Four Emperors was a brutal testament to the volatility of power and the resilience of Rome. From chaos rose a new order that would shape the empire for decades to come. If you wish to relive the rise and fall of empires, the clash of armies, and the drama of history's greatest conflicts, subscribe to Ages of War and journey with us through the blood-stained pages of the past. The turmoil that gripped Rome in 68 AD was unlike anything the empire had seen before. Nero's death did not bring peace. It unleashed a storm of chaos that threatened to shatter the very foundations of Roman rule. The Julio-Claudian dynasty, built on blood and ambition, had finally crumbled, and now, a brutal power struggle consumed the empire. Servius Sulpicius Galba was thrust into this maelstrom. A veteran of many campaigns, Galba was known for his sternness and old-fashioned Roman discipline. As governor of Hispania Tarraconensis, he had maintained order far from the decadence of the capital. When the Senate named him emperor, many hoped that he would restore stability. But the man who arrived in Rome was cold and inflexible, a leader unable to inspire loyalty or warmth. The legions, the backbone of Roman power, found him harsh and unyielding. His refusal to honor promises of reward alienated many, and whispers of discontent spread like wildfire through the ranks. Among the most dangerous of his detractors was Marcus Salvius Otho, once an ally of Galba and a man who believed he was owed the throne. Betrayed and humiliated, Otho's ambition twisted into a deadly resolve. Far beyond the city walls, the legions of Germania declared their allegiance to Aulus Vitellius, a commander of immense physical presence and equally immense appetites. Vitellius was a man of contradictions, ruthless in battle but prone to indulgence and excess. Yet, his soldiers admired his strength and saw in him a leader who could deliver them the spoils they craved. Rome, caught between these powerful men and their armies, descended into violence. Galba's brief reign ended abruptly when Otho, backed by the Praetorian Guard, assassinated him in a swift and brutal coup. The streets ran red with the blood of the fallen emperor and his heir, and Otho claimed the throne amidst the roar of the city's restless masses. But peace remained elusive. Vitellius, spurred by the loyalty of his legions, marched on Italy with an army fueled by battle-hardened fervor. The imperial title was no longer a symbol of unity but a prize to be seized by sword and fire. The decisive confrontation came near the town of Bedriacum. Otho's forces, outmatched and outmaneuvered, fell in a crushing defeat. The once proud and ambitious emperor chose to end his own life, hoping to spare Rome further bloodshed and chaos. Vitellius entered Rome in triumph, but the city's welcome was lukewarm. His reign proved to be as turbulent as those before him, marked by cruel excess and political missteps that alienated the Senate and the people. His grip on power was tenuous, and opposition grew in the shadows. Meanwhile, in the far-flung province of Judea, another figure rose. Titus Flavius Vespasianus, a seasoned general known for his pragmatic leadership and relentless discipline, commanded legions who declared him emperor. Vespasian's claim was solidified not just by his military strength, but by his promise to restore order and rebuild an empire torn by civil war. As Vespasian's forces marched westward, the final act of this bloody drama approached. The legions loyal to him clashed with Vitellius's troops once more near Bedriacum, in a battle that would decide the fate of Rome itself. Vitellius's defeat was swift and brutal. He was captured and killed amid the chaos, bringing an end to his fractured and brief rule. With his rivals vanquished, Vespasian ascended to the throne and began the Flavian Dynasty. His reign marked a turning point. Stability returned to the empire, reforms were enacted, and Rome's military might was renewed. The year of the four emperors was a brutal testament to the precariousness of power, the cost of ambition, and the enduring strength of Rome. From the depths of civil war and despair, a new order emerged, forging the future of an empire destined to shape the world for centuries. His generals, seasoned and relentless, crushed the last remnants of Vitellius's army. The city itself, scarred by years of turmoil and betrayal, awaited a leader who could finally restore order. Vitellius, once hailed as emperor, met a brutal end. Captured and slain amidst the chaos, his death marked not just the fall of a man, but the closing of a violent chapter in Roman history. Vespasian's ascension to the throne was more than a mere change of rulers. It was the birth of a new dynasty, the Flavian Dynasty. Known for his pragmatism and steady hand, Vespasian set about rebuilding an empire torn by civil war. He reformed the military, stabilized the economy, and began ambitious construction projects that would shape Rome for generations. Under the Flavians, Rome would rise from the ashes, stronger and more resilient. The chaos of the year of the four emperors was a harsh reminder of how fragile power could be, but also of Rome's ability to endure. This saga of ambition, betrayal, and war reminds us that history is forged not just in peace but in fire and blood. The legacy of these emperors echoes through time, a testament to the relentless struggle for control in one of history's greatest empires. Thank you for joining Ages of War. If you seek to relive the epic tales of conquest, courage, and collapse, subscribe now and walk with us through the timeless shadows of history.